explicit hyperactivity disorder in children and adolescents. It's one of the most common mental disorders in children and adolescents. Symptoms include difficult staying focused and paying attention, difficulty controlling behavior, and very high level of activity. Studies show the number of children being diagnosed wise is increasing, but is it unclear why.
So attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, or known as ADHD, occurs very frequently in children, and it's typically not diagnosed until a child is at least 7 years of age and is in school. It includes behaviors of inattention, distractibility, and oppositional behavior. Oftentimes, children with ADHD have difficulties in school, they have difficulty maintaining friendships, and there's often some type of disruption or difficult behaviors that occur at home. ADHD is not a learning disorder, but it can affect school and grade performance because a child is highly distractible and has trouble maintaining and focusing attention at school. One of the things that I often hear parents say is, does my child have ADD or ADHD? So I'd like everyone to know that ADHD, or attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, is the true name of the disorder, but your child can have an inattentive subtype. Your child can be more impulsive or hyperactive and have that type of subtype, and sometimes children are inattentive and hyperactive. With this information, you should recognize that there are many different symptoms of ADHD, and you should contact your clinical professional to really help you understand ADHD.
Methods. At 7 or 8 years, teacher reports and study symptoms, and parent report body mass index and physical activity level. At 66 years, parent report symptoms, adolescent report physical activity. Transformed to metabolic equivalent of time, hours per week, and being 18 and weight rate. We measure via clinical examination obesity was definition using the International Obesity Task Force, cut-off for, and the percentage cut-off for. Children-wise or CD symptoms are at increasing risk for becoming obese and physical in next adolescent. Physical activity may be beneficial for both menopause problem and obesity.
ADHD, or attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, is an innate attention deficit disorder. Children who have ADHD often have problems with paying attention for an extended period of time. They are often unable to focus long on a command to work. However, when they are interested, they can keep focused. They tend to move continuously and are known to be impulsive, not thinking before doing something. Although ADHD is often diagnosed and is said to occur in children more frequently, adults also have the tendency to suffer from the disorder. The exact cause of ADHD is unknown, but there are 3 factors related to its occurrence. They are heredity. Children with a parent with ADD or ADHD have an increased chance of getting ADD or ADHD too. A neurobiological disorder in the brain that is caused by chemical imbalances inside the brain with neurotransmitters, and environmental influences. ADHD seems to be more commonly diagnosed nowadays because society generally is ADHD unfriendly. ADHD is often thought to be the same as ADD, or attention deficit disorder. Although both ADD and ADHD are an attention deficit disorder, it is not exactly the same, and ADD is a subtype of ADHD. People with ADHD are known to show hyperactivity, positive qualities such as a high social intelligence, a great empathy and sensitivity, exceptional ability to see certain things in detail. They are often very caring towards others, and they often excel in talent in a certain field, such as music. There is no cure for ADHD. However, treatment can help a person feel less affected by the symptoms of ADHD. The symptoms of ADHD can be controlled by medication, behavioral management therapy, and involvement of parents and teachers. Medications called stimulants are used to control hyperactivity, impulsivity, and to increase attention span. Some commonly used stimulants for ADHD are methylphenidate,
Pros and cons: insomnia, appetite loss, tiredness, social withdrawal, abdominal pain. Children or adolescents taking adenosine might be more likely to think about suicide than children who do not take it. More adverse effects were reported in preschooler than in elementary school children.
How to recognize ADHD symptoms in children. Is your child high-spirited and unfocused or suffering from attention deficit hyperactivity disorder? These ADHD guidelines will help you decide if a checkup is in order. You will need an analysis of their behavior, an idea of how long most young children have short attention spans, but those with ADHD don't seem to be listening even when they're spoken to. They frequently lose things, have difficulty following instructions, and often make careless mistakes. Step 2. Recognize if their energy level seems excessive, even for a child. Are they unable to sit without fidgeting? Do they get in trouble at school for leaving their seat, or running and climbing excessively or inappropriately? Do they talk incessantly? Interrupt constantly? Some children are more inattentive than hyperactive, and vice versa. Girls are more likely to have more attention problems, while boys more often fall into the hyperactive category. Step 3. Consider how long the behavior has been going on. If you've observed symptoms for more than 6 months, it might be ADHD. Step 4. Note where the behavior takes place. If it's only at home or only at school, something other than ADHD may be to blame for their symptoms. Step 5. Gauge the seriousness of the problem. Children with ADHD are regularly disruptive at school and at home. Their behavior causes problems in their relationships with both adults and other children. Step 6. If you recognize any of these symptoms in your child, take them to your pediatrician. It's important that they have a medical checkup to rule out other causes for their behavior before ADHD is diagnosed. Did you know children whose mothers had smoked while pregnant were more than twice as likely to have ADHD as children whose mothers did not smoke?
It's also used to describe a situation with a part of your body is too active, such as when a gland makes to move or a hormone.
This is the part of the brain that matures too early. People with ADHD have this part developing too quickly. This is the primary motor zone. This is where small, discrete behaviors are executed. Hence the restless, hyperactive, off-task, irrelevant motor movements often seen in the young child with ADHD. You've got a hypermature primary motor strip that is ungoverned by an immature frontal cortex, and that gives you your hyperactivity. But the hyperactivity will decline markedly with age, becoming internal in form, a subjective sense of restlessness, but not an outward hyperactivity. The adults that we have seen in our clinics and in our research projects do not climb on furniture. Spouses do not bring them in because they're sliding downstairs in suitcases. We don't see them building ramps in the snow over roadways so that they can jump their sleds across the road. One of my patients tried to do that. Right? But the adult with ADHD commonly reports an inner restlessness, both of thought and activity, where they describe themselves as needing to be busy, to be engaged in multiple activities. The term multitasking has been used for this inappropriately. Multitasking refers to people who can successfully do multiple things at a time. You may have multiple things going on, but they're not getting done.